Hello guys, my name is Michael and welcome to a new GTK properties tutorial. Like I already told you, if comes something new, then I'm going to update this playlist with some new information, and now it is time for us to learn some new things before we proceed with our other widgets. As you can see here right now, we have a program. Let me compile it and run it first. Nothing special, it is a header bar which has 3 buttons: exit, open and close, and its title called header bar. The way how program flow works, it is like this. We are creating a window which I set it's decorated to false, and then after that I create a grid. I set its column homogeneous to true, and then I put a grid inside the window. I was creating the 3 buttons, open, close and exit buttons, and then I was creating the header bar. I was attaching the header bar inside the grid, and after that I was setting its title. Now it is the important part which we need to talk about. It is about these calls right here. As you can see, making this kind of calls has some advantages and disadvantages. One of them is because of so many calls. Maybe some of you which you come now from other part and you didn't follow all other videos, I'm going to tell you that you really need to call this function before you try to call GTK container set. If you don't do this, it's not working. So let me show you something. I'm going to comment out the first 2 calls, which basically is packing into the end the button 1 and button 2. And because we are not packing those buttons at all, we are trying basically to set those properties of the button 1 and button 2 to the start position or to the end position, wherever. It's not important. I want to show you something that you understand the meaning of these things and why it's so important for you that you call the GTK header bar pack. You see, those buttons are not here, are gone, because they are not shown. You need to call these functions before you set those properties. So once that you call this function, you have to set this one. So it's a little bit tricky here. Whatever. Now I want to introduce you to a new function which will help you to drop this code right here in only one line. Would you think it is possible? Well, let's see. When we go back to our object hierarchy right here, the reference manual of the GTK container says that it has a function which is called GTK container add with properties. So GTK container add, you already know. It is the function which puts a child inside the parent. And the last part with property, it should be clear for you, means that you are adding a child to a parent with some properties set. So basically you are setting some property and then you put the child inside the parent. Now the function says adds widgets to container, setting child property at the same time. See GTK container add and see container child set. So basically this function you already know. We are already working with them. The first parameter is the container. The second one is the widget to be placed inside the container, the thing which you do when you call GTK container add. And the last one, it is the property and so on, followed by the null, which means you are informing your function that you are done with it. So basically you should be familiar with something like this. Okay, so let me show you how this function works. I'm going to call it right here, and the first one, it is the container, GTK container. Of course the container means the header bar, because it is about the relationship between the header bar and the button, and not try to make some smart things like thinking about some relation between window and the button or header bar or something like this. No, it is about the relationship which we are talking now. It is header bar and the buttons, and of course their properties. So basically the first one is the parent, the second one is the child, button 1, and then we are good to go with setting for example pack type, and why not the position as well. Oh, we don't need this one right here. Okay, and of course the last one is the null. Once that we did it, let me copy this one right here because I don't want to type it again, and I'm going to call it on button 2 this time. Packing, it was also start, but the position this time it should be 0. Now let me comment these calls. One, two, three, four, 5, 6 functions. We can put them together in only one function. Now I'm going to compile it and run it, and as you can see, our program works fine with no problems. Close button, open button are on the left and X on the right. The close is the first one and open is the second one, because we decide that the button one should be the second one. If we put now 0 and 1 right here, then you should see that the open button is the first one and the close button is the second one. You see, because this is what you decide when you call this function. Now I'm going to remove this part right here, and I'm going to remove this one as well, and now I'm going to let the button 3. You see, now with only 2 calls we are basically did so many things here, like creating our button based on its properties. Once that we set those properties, like packing start and position 0 for the button 1, then when we are done with it, we are packing inside the header bar. This is the main difference and the main advantage of calling this function, which is very important and very clever as well. If you didn't know about it, then it is time now for you to know about it and just get used with it, use it, because it is much faster and less code for you than calling GTK container add with or set properties or set child set or something like that. It will be much faster for you, as you can see. Okay, that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.